Well, good morning and thank you for joining us on GBS Morning Extra this morning. The broadcast is coming to you live from our offices here in Nairobi. My name is Timothy Omondi. My sign language interpreter is Felista Adundo. We start this morning with news from Nakuru County, where President Uhuru Kenyatta on Thursday presided over a pass-out parade for cadets at the Kenya Military Academy in Lanet. The Nakuru recruited as commissioned officers. Cadets spend 3 years at the academy where they undergo rigorous technical training. The president was accompanied by the Chief of Defense Forces, General Samson Mwatate, service commanders, among other KDF officials. Kenya is currently involved in an active war against Al-Shabaab, with over 4,000 soldiers currently working under the African Union in Somalia. The country has exuded confidence in the fight against militants following reconciliation between Somalia. The two nations are embroiled also in an Indian Ocean maritime dispute. Early this month, Uhuru hosted the Somalia President Mohamed Farmajo, where they agreed to normalize relations after months of animosity. Farmajo lauded Kenya for the contribution towards the peace process in Somalia, adding that the maritime dispute will be resolved amicably.
Thank you, sir.
Tupe makofi na nduru. Sara na Isula Kanai.
And once again, well done. Thank you, sir. Asanteni sana. Mungu awabariki. Well done. Pongezi. Congratulations.
Well, indeed, congratulations to the new cadets. We do hope that their contribution also to the KDF in the different missions, not just in Somalia but around the world, will also bring glory to Kenya and protection to our borders. Moving on to other matters now, we look at matters politics. The Orange Democratic Movement Party launched its new headquarters, also known as the Chungwa House, which is located in Lavington, just about 300 meters from the ANC party headquarters. But this event was occasioned by outrage towards some members of Parliament and a section of leaders who are now calling for the BBI report to be discussed in Parliament. Here are the views by ODM members who are opposed vehemently to the idea of discussing the BBI in Parliament, claiming that it is a people's document and should not be tampered with by politicians.
Problem. Let us agree. There is nothing you are telling us that you're going to Parliament to discuss the BBI report through it. We know very well that one, William Samuel Ruto, will buy all those members of Parliament. And they'll bring big problem to this country. The only court where we'll get justice is the court of the common mwananchi.
When you go to Parliament this afternoon or tomorrow, tell your colleagues, my friends, this document of BBI does not belong to them. Now, they did not initiate this process. So, aache kuota ndoto. Ati there can be a parliamentary initiative. My friend, how can a governor like Anyang' Nyong'o give his views in the parliament? Atakupigia kura namna gani? Mimi nitapigia kura namna gani? And I'm an important stakeholder in this country. Now, wengine, my friend, let them be sure. Let it be known to them that wajipange. Kama ni kulumbana, tutalumbana mashinani. Kama ni kuonana mundu kumundu, mashinani. Mutu kwa mutu, mashinani. Mazungumzo, kuna mchezo, my friends. That's what I said yesterday. And even I want to urge members of ODM, whatever was proposed yesterday, haijakuwa anchored kwa jiwe. It is a beginning of a conversation that all of us must have as a country.
I hear people talking about parliamentary initiative, and I want to say it categorically clear that you cannot create reforms through parliament. It is not possible because we may require constitutional amendments. I have been in parliament now for well close to 13 years. And I will tell you that apart from the National Accord, I cannot remember of any constitutional amendment that has ever gone through in this country, garnering 2/3. Let us be real with each other and agree that this reform must be people-driven reform as it was started. And that is the message that must go to those who are still dragging us back. I am a member of parliament, but I'm saying that parliament cannot drive this process.
So I said a lot of things yesterday about BBI and where we've come from and why BBI. And I meant everything that I said yesterday. I also said that this process must be people-owned. It will not be taken to parliament. It will go to the people at the end. The people of Kenya are the ones who will decide what to do.
Now, still on the post-BBI discussion, the U.S. ambassador to Kenya, Cale McCarter, has also hailed the BBI report and said that this document should bring Kenyans together. McCarter was speaking while he presented the Thanksgiving turkey at the Nation Center on Thursday.
I think, first of all, no one should comment on BBI if you haven't read it. And it's something that I'm digesting and really pondering and thinking about. But I think there's a lot of good things that were proposed. I think that what we should take from yesterday was it was a big step for Kenya forward for peace and unity. And I think even though there may have been disagreements, and there will be disagreements on what is proposed, I think the message was clearly sent yesterday that Kenya has to be a nation of peace and has to be a nation that's not divided by tribes. And I think it was very clear, too, that the people aren't divided. It's the politicians that divide the people. And I think that was something most of us would agree with, unless you're maybe one of those politicians. But, you know, I think, again, even the foreign minister from Tanzania said to Kenya, you have to get this right. You have to succeed, because if you succeed, all of East Africa succeeds.
Now, moving on to still on the BBI matters, the Cherangani Member of Parliament, Joshua Kutunyi, went on camera explaining how some leaders are trying to use the Parliament to water down the efforts made by the BBI report. Kutunyi explained in detail how this cannot work constitutionally. Let's listen in to this.
If you have to change the functions of Parliament, you must subject it to referendum. If you're going to introduce a Prime Minister position, it's changing the function of the Parliament. If you're going to introduce Parliament, Cabinet Secretaries, Ministers to sit in Parliament, it's changing the function of Parliament. Angalia, kwa hivyo hiyo itakwenda kwenye kura ya maoni. Kila hatua yoyote kama ile itahitaji kura. Na pili, mbona watu wanaogopa kwenda kwenye kura ya maoni? Mbona watu wanataka kutuletea ukarabati pale ndani ya bunge? Kwa sababu wanajua labda wana wingi ndio waweza kusumbua. Na wewe acha nikueleze leo. Iwapo mswada italetwa ndani ya bunge leo, ijadiliwe, iangushwe, isipate idadi ambayo inahitajika, ni miezi 6 ndio irekebishwe ndani ya bunge. Iwapo mswada wote wa kurekebisha katiba italetwa ndani ya bunge mwaka ujao mwezi wa 6, kwa sababu kuchukua kura ya maoni, kufanya kadhalika, miezi 6. Ikiangushwa inamaanisha mpaka Disemba mwaka ujao iregeshwe ndani ya bunge. Na ni mimi nimejaribu kupiga msasa yale matamshi ya wale waliozungumza kusema kitu hiki kinaweza kuletwa bungeni, ni kwamba wanatumia mbinu. Wanajua kupanda mchongoma rahisi, kushuka ndio balaa. Hatutaki hili kitu lije bunge ndio ikuwe balaa.
Well, Kutuny, they are very articulate on the unconstitutionality of taking the BBI report to the parliament and also the dangers that come with that. Well, we do wait and see about that. Also, reporter William Ochanda took to the streets of Nairobi and spoke to some Kenyans just a day after the report was launched to just get their view on if they do understand what the BBI is about and what their opinion is. Let's listen into this interview that our reporter William Ochanda carried out on the streets of Roysambu, that's in Kasarani constituency.
So today we are going to listen to the views of the residents of Kasarani, what they think about the BBI report, what are the things that they would like to be changed in the BBI report, and if they did read or understand the BBI report.
My name's Christopher Mutuse. Naona hii BBI si mbaya, iko sawa. But wale watu tunataka wakuwe ndani ya hiyo leadership ya hiyo BBI si wale wako. Wacha akina Raila waende home, wacha akina Uhuru waende home. Hiyo mambo ya kutuambia ati Uhuru atakuwa sijui huyu prime minister nini, hiyo wacha waende home.
Maoni yangu kuhusu BBI naona tu ifanyike because corruption in Kenya imekuwa mingi.
The matters arising about the BBI, particularly facing on the side of the youths. Mimi naona inavinyilia youths juu ukiangalia, as you look, it is majoring on the monopolitans.
About BBI report, okay, gender equality ndio nimeona at least wamechange. Kama at least wanashare men and women, not like before. Men ndio wanachukua hizo vitu zote.
Okay, kwanza hapo hiyo BBI kwangu mimi, hii bado sijajua bado vile inatuunganisha, and so but I hope ni kitu itakuwa fiti.
Sasa ni noma tunaishi vibaya. Sasa hapa sijui kama tutaenda hivi Kenya. Sasa tukienda hivi tunarudi ushago. Hatuna pesa, biashara ziko chini. Mbaya sana.
According to me, BBI ni wanataka kama president akichaguliwa akuwe na assistant wake kama watatu, kama ni governor watatu. Mimi nakataa.
Najua kwamba kwa hiyo vipengele ambao wametajataja kwa mambo ya BBI, although hatujasoma sana, hatujapata copy, lakini kulingana na tumesikia kabla hatujapata copy, kuna vitu kama tuseme mtu kama prime minister wamesema kama anachaguliwa na president, na wamesema kwamba inafaa atoe kwa chama ya president. Sasa mimi nauliza ya kwamba kama president atapendelea achague mtu kutoka kwa klani yake itakuwa namna gani?
Mimi nasema BBI ni mzuri, lakini tupate copy kwanza, tupitie tuone vitu zenye ziko kwa BBI. Kama ni mabadiliko mazuri italeta maendeleo, hiyo ni sawa.
BBI iko sawa, lakini kuna vitu zingine zenye wanafaa kurekebisha. Kama hiyo ya president hiyo kuingia miaka 7 nini, hizo ni vitu tunataka, yani mtu mwenye kama atamaliza tuseme kama miaka 5 tukishachoka na yetu achane.
From the little I have learned about the BBI, the few contents I've read is that the BBI has the proposals of an executive president chosen by the people and an executive prime minister to be chosen amongst parliamentarians. So to be a prime minister, one has to be an MP.
Kuhusu BBI tunaona vile tumepata ripoti ni kwamba si mbaya, but hatujaisoma, tunataka tuipate tusome.
Even though majority of Kenyans haven't read the BBI report, those who have are not contented with the report, saying that the common wananchi isn't getting the due rights they deserve. Reporting for GBS Morning Extra, I'm William Ochanda.
Well, we thank William Ochanda for that. We will be, of course, interacting with more Kenyans as they continue to read the document, as they also continue to get acquainted to the document. Well, also at home, if you're there, please do make sure that you find a copy of the document, because clearly Kenya is heading to a place where we as Kenyans will have to contribute our views in regard to this new document. We now move on in other matters to the Rift Valley area, where Kenya Wildlife Services have intensified a hunt for a lion in Moi Ben, Uasin Gishu County for 10 days now. According to the area residents, the lion has killed 4 cows and 3 goats. The residents, who are living in continued fear of the killer lion, say it might now return to hunt humans. KWS, in its intensified hunt, is now using choppers to hunt down the lion. Residents who lost their livestock are now demanding compensation from the Kenya Wildlife Services. KWS are yet to establish where the lion came from.
Na hatutaki mtu akufe kwa ajili ya mnyama. Ama namna gani wananchi? Sasa baada ya mnyama kuna wale vijana wetu wameenda jondoni wako msituni. Wamewafia kabisa.
Mimi nasikia uchungu sana kwa sababu mimi nimefanya kazi kwa bidii. Mimi bado msichana mdogo, nimenunua kondo zangu 3 na zimekulwa zote. Mimi nasikia uchungu sana na mimi nataka nilipwe na watu wa Kenya WS.
Tunaomba watu wa KWS yake mtusaidie ama mtufungulie tuende ndani. Tuko na silaha yetu, tuko na mchavoni. Hatuwezi shindwa.
Well, residents, they are angry and even asking to be allowed to go into the park so that they can take care of the situation by themselves. Well, we now move on to the coastal region, where police officers shot and killed a man who had attempted to snatch his firearm in Bondeni, Mombasa, and also attempted to escape with it. The unidentified man is reported to have snatched the gun from the officer who was guarding a bank along Digo Road in Bondeni. The crowd managed to arrest the man after he was unable to use the firearm. The man was later killed by police officers after the crowd caught him.
Alikuwa amempokonya ile bunduki. Sasa alikuwa anajaribu kukok. Sisi tukaingia na jamaa watatu hapa tukasaidia kumshika yule mtu kwa sababu alikuwa anataka kumuua yule ofisa. Tukabidi tumshike sasa tumweke kando, ndio ofisa akachukua ile bunduki yake ndio akamaliza kazi.
The officer was injured on the back and the leg. He has been taken to the hospital, and that victim, who is unknown and he had no identification, has been taken to the morgue. At the moment, I would like to thank the members of public who are within Bondeni area because they also witnessed the incident. They did not team up with that thug who could have taken the firearm, which could have gone to cause a lot of problems within our area here. And the officer also has done good because he regained consciousness quickly and he was able to deal with that criminal.
Now we move on to other matters where animal welfare holders organizations have done their research and come up with the conclusion that farmers rearing donkeys in Kenya are not benefiting from the animals. Instead, some other countries in Asia are benefiting. They are now asking the government to ban the trade of donkeys to other countries to see if there will be any change in the animals trade.
A research by Animal Welfare Stakeholders Organization in Kenya indicates that a typical donkey retail at 10,000 shillings, majority of the donkey buyers being from Asia, who benefit from the skin, which is later processed into a valuable product with a range of social economic benefits where they earn higher cost than the price of donkeys.
If you look at it relatively, from the time you produce a donkey, the lifespan, and the 10,000 that the farmer is getting, and the end product which is going at 50,000, who is benefiting in this process?
It is argued that compared to what the farmers and the buyers are gaining, the farmers are disadvantaged and not gaining anything from the process. The organization wants the government to ban the trading of donkeys into other countries, claiming that the trade is benefiting other countries at the expense of Kenya.
The government should rethink and close the slaughterhouses as soon as yesterday.
The alliance believes that at least 15 billion shillings was generated from donkey trade business last year, out of which 80 million shillings was remitted as tax to Kenya.
The Ajao industry has spent tens of millions, probably hundreds of millions of dollars in trying to find ways in which they can speed up gestation, make the donkeys more productive. They've just not been able to find out that magic formula for being able to do it.
They want the government to immediately ban the slaughtering and export of donkeys, saying that the animal could be extinct in 5 years.
Ile county kama wanaweza kutusaidia kufunga kichinjio cha punda ambayo inaendelea hapa Mokotio.
With the communities rising up together in unity, as we remember that the demand is coming from the communities to stop this trade, they can reach their local counties, which takes it up to the national level.
Reporting for GBS Morning Extra, I'm Beatrice Mudon.
Still on matters business and farming, the coffee farming in Kenya is quickly fading away. This is driven partly by farmers not making enough profits in the precious commodity. Those in the value chain are now calling for government subsidies to try and see if farmers can at least get some money out of coffee farming.
Due to high cost of production, has seen many farmers shy from coffee, which has significantly hurt production. Those in the value chain are calling for more government subsidies to reduce the cost of production to at least see if there will be little change. Last year, it was announced that the coffee prices in the international market were at least 13-year low after a kilo traded below $1. High cost of labor and fertilizer is said to be the cause of low price that made it hard for some coffee farmers to break even. To address this issue, coffee farmers in the value chain are calling for government subsidies. Lower cost of production is also expected to help drive up local consumption of high-grade coffee and create more markets. The executive director at the Africa Fine Coffee Association, Samuel Kamau, the secretary general at the Inter-Africa Coffee Organization, Dr. Fred Kawuma, and the head of Coffee Research Institute, Elijah Geshuru, spoke on behalf of the coffee farmers.
If you look at one item only, fertilizer, Africa literally imports each and every fertilizer they require. That's a very big inefficiency that we compare with Vietnam and we compare with Brazil. Fertilizers are available internally.
The issues of our productivity, if we can be able to have the support to our farmers, our producers, so that we increase the yields.
The international coffee price is beyond our mean. We cannot control it, but what we can control is the way our farming community can be assisted to build their resilience.
Most African nations export coffee without adding value, which denies the continent jobs and income.
Farmers will sustain only if they make money. If they don't make money, then they will shift to other crops, unless there is another way of sustaining the crop for another purpose.
Inter-Africa Coffee Organization is seeking $900 million from the private sector to offer farmers loan in a bid to increase coffee production.
Now to matters relating to the East Africa community. The East African Community Secretariat has embarked on a one-year-long campaign that in Arusha, Tanzania, to motivate East Africans to embrace integration agenda. The EAC Secretary General Liberat Mfumukeko said that the campaign targets to reach about 10 million East African citizens in the period of 1 year.
During the launch of the Regional Citizens Engagement Campaign at the East African Community Headquarters in Arusha recently, the East African Community Secretary General Mfumukeko, who comes from Burundi, planned for celebrating the 20th anniversary of the bloc. The EAC founding partner countries, that is Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda, signed the treaty for the establishment of the bloc on 30th November 1999. The EAC now boasts having 3 more partner states of Burundi, Rwanda, and South Sudan, with Somalia, Sudan, and Democratic Republic of Congo showing interest in joining the bloc. Mfumukeko said the EAC, which has an ambitious target to conclude into a political union, had through various policy initiatives achieved commendable results during the past 20 years. The Secretary General said that young people need to participate in this campaign to get inspired through a regional youth videos and animation competitions, which has a total prize of $25,000 USD for the innovative 30 winners. The campaign provides a platform to hear stories from every East African on the impact the EAC has made to his or her life and the future direction the citizens want the region to take. Mary Vuguza, GBS Morning Extra.
And now across the borders to South Sudan, where the sea of white tents scattered across the camp next to the UN base in Juba has been home to tens of thousands of displaced families since the civil war erupted in South Sudan 6 years ago. The signing of the peace deal last year has encouraged many to make the decision to leave. When the plane touches down on her turf, the women and children emerge to a warm welcome for family members and friends they haven't seen for many years. The group is then transported to their homes in the towns so that they can settle and begin rebuilding their lives. About 600,000 people who are either internally displaced within South Sudan or living in refugee camps outside the country have returned since the peace deal was signed in September last year. The United Nations mission in South Sudan is assisting those who make the voluntary decision to leave its protection sites with logistic support.
Some of those have come back from neighbouring countries. Some of those have gone back to their homes from within South Sudan as well. It's great to see that happen. They've done that spontaneously, their own volition. And what it means is they're getting back to their homes in time to start planting, looking after themselves, growing their own food, being not dependent on humanitarian agencies. And what we're hoping to be able to do is make sure where they're going to, they get the services that they need, like schools and like health centres.
Well, viewer, that brings us to the end of this first segment of GBS Morning Extra this Friday. And being a Friday, as always, today we have prepared for you quite a number of performances in our Morning Extra entertainment segment. Well, from me here in studio, Timothy Mondi, do have yourself a good day. My sign language interpreter, of course, is Felista Adundo. Enjoy your weekend, and let's see you again next week on Monday, God willing.